So I'm sure everyone's probably getting really sick of it, or they haven't even heard of it, or they're bored of it. But I found the Supernatural Tumblr accent challenge, which is something I can't say fast because otherwise I'll screw it up and end up sounding like a derp. Um, and I've seen most of them done by Americans or Canadians, so I thought, hey, what the shit? Let's try it. Let's do an Aussie version because even though I sound nothing like an Australian, of course, but hey, what the fuck? Why the hell not? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna post all the questions underneath my post or underneath my audio post, but whatever. I'll read them out as well. Okay, your name and username. My name is Brianna, and my username is SlinkyCat, um, which is just random. It's sort of going on the fact that I used to be Cheshire in DeviantArt. Well, I still am, but I decided to go for Slinky Cat because Cheshire was taken, and I decided this upset me. Where are you from? I'm from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Um, Melbourne is the kind of city where you get 4 seasons in a day. This morning, I got up and it was windy as hell. And during the day, it was really sunny and lovely. And as I was coming home, it decided to absolutely fucking bucket rain. So it's still raining. Well, it's not. It's drizzling now. But yeah. Well, that was 3 seasons in a day. Sometimes you get beautiful spring weather, and it's just like ridiculous. It just doesn't make any sense. Make up your mind, you stupid city. Okay, pronounce the following words: salt, demon, devil's trap, seagill, iron, holy water, holy oil, Kansas, Bobby Singer, Egypt, Gank, fire, Cristo, supernatural, team free will, Dean, Sam, Castiel, Alistair, the cult, son of a bitch, jerk, bitch, and Impala. Okay. So, I don't sound anything like an Australian, by the way, so I apologise. What is your monster ganking specialty? Fleeing. I'm going to go with fleeing, running as fast as I can, or I don't know if it counts. I could be a banshee. I could scream at the top of my lungs, man. I have a loud scream and it's quite piercing. Um, yeah, I don't know if I have to choose a weapon. I want to say something that I have to I can do from afar. I don't want to have to stab anything. Pie, demon blood, or hamburgers. I have to admit, since I got my Castiel coat for my Kaz cosplay, I've been fucking addicted to hamburgers. Every time oh look, a burger joint. Hey look, it's grilled. Or, oh look, another place that does burgers. Homemade burgers. Let's get burgers. All the time, burgers. But I do like pie. There was pie in my fridge the other day, and then Mum threw it out. She threw out the rest of my pie. I was devastated. I'm drinking dark red cordial at the moment. Does that count as demon's blood? Um, who do you call? I think the correct phrase is the Ghost Facers. I've only watched an episode like once. Um, every time I see that, of course, I go to say Ghostbusters. But no, Supernatural. The phrase is Ghost Facers. What supernatural phrase do you find yourself saying in public? Geez, I don't really say that many. Son of a bitch. I say that a bit. Hey ass bud. Occasionally I'll say get the salt, but not really. It's sort of it has to be a good situation. And of course, a lot of the people I hang out with during the day, my friends from uni. Sorry, I'm drinking water. Um, they don't watch Supernatural, so they don't get all the jokes. It just depresses me because I'll say something and they'll be like, "Why is that funny?" And I'll be like, "I hate all of you." Um, what else do I say? Just no, that's really it. Favorite character, Gabrielle. Gabrielle without fail, man. There are no words to describe how much I love Richard, and he's coming out to Australia next year, and I won't be here. I'm going overseas next year, and I'm just like, no, Richard, and Misha's gonna be here too, and I'm so depressed. I don't know. It's like that. I'm not actually legitimately torn, but almost torn. Like, do I want to go overseas and travel and see all my friends in America? Oh, I'm coming to stalk you guys, by the way. Hi. Or do I want to stay? and meet, the person who I'm gonna say like the man of my dreams, because Richard is like, he's like that kind of person who you look at and you go, oh my god, he would make the fucking coolest big brother ever. He would give awesome hugs. I don't know. I totally see him as a big brother, and it makes me so sad that I'm not gonna meet him. I don't have any siblings, so I can dream of having celebrity brothers. What is the thing you gank a monster with? I've already established that my speciality is running away and screaming. Um, uh, but I'd go with probably like a gun. For long distance stuff. Probably not. I've never shot a gun before. I don't know anyone in Australia who owns a gun. Like I don't. Nobody I know owns a gun. I mean, Deer has shot a gun before. She went hunting with her brothers or something. I can't remember. She'll have to correct me in the replies or something. Um, but so I've never shot a gun before. But I'd have to say probably like let's go something that I can get decent aim. I went uh laser tag in the bush, which is like it was like paintballing but without the pain. I'm going paintballing soon though, so I'll get back to you on how I can shoot a paintball gun. Um, so yeah, definitely a gun. For close distance though, I'm not gonna go with a sword or like a knife or something because I have no ability to wield a knife or a sword. So I'm gonna go with like um a baseball bat with nails in it, something that I can bludgeon monsters to death with. I'm not that strong, but hey, if it's a heavy bat and it's got nails in it, I think it'll work. Choose a one-liner and speak in the character's voice. No, I don't want to. I'm no good at this kind of stuff. I used to. This is on similar kind of topic, but I used to be able to impersonate Moaning Myrtle, but I haven't watched the second Harry Potter movie in so long that I can't do it anymore. So I'm not gonna do it. You may have to beg me. No, I'll have to go watch the movie again. I'm just uh, I'm gonna go with the last phrase I heard because I haven't actually watched all the new episodes because we have to download them when we get them, and then me, Deer, and Cat or Kitchi, sorry, all have a supernatural sleepover thing. But Deer and I were busy with this Saturday, so we've missed the we only do it every like 2 or 3 weeks because we want more than one episode to watch at a time. But Deer had way too much homework this week, and I had a family dinner thing on, and so yeah, we haven't seen the final 3 episodes. So I'm just gonna go with the last one-liner that I heard, which was "Hey ass butt," and of course my voice is way too high to do Kaz properly, so that was embarrassing. Do you believe in the supernatural? Yes. Oh god, I believe in the supernatural so much. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always believed in it. It started with like unicorns and mermaids and stuff like that. I still believe in mermaids, man. I still believe in mermaids. They're real. They're down there in the deep sea. We've explored the depths of the ocean, but they're fucking good at hiding. That's my thing, that they know how to hide, so that's why you never seen them. That, or they're like, able to turn into fish or something. I don't know. I justify this, man. It's like my uncle Soz is fully and utterly just certain that Superman is a real person. I don't know. My family's really weird, but yeah, no, he's honest to God believes that Superman is a real person. Would you be a demon or an angel or any other supernatural being? I'm gonna go. I'd probably be a banshee because I can scream really loudly. I definitely wouldn't be a demon or an angel. I'm not cunning enough to be a demon, and I'm not smart enough to be, or loyal or whatever. Yeah, I don't believe I'm sort of loyal enough to God to be an angel. I'm Wiccan, so whatever. I could be a witch. Actually, but if I really had to choose what supernatural, what creature I would be, I'd have to go with a bunyip. And not many people are going to get what I mean when I say I'd be a bunyip, but yeah, I'd totally be Daigle. He's my boy. Go check my DeviantArt account if you want to know who Daigle is. It's at Cheshire-illusion at deviantart.com. Blah 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 blah. have you ever experienced supernatural in real life? I have actually, a couple of times, but the one that really sticks out of my mind was when I was in year nine. So I was what, 15, 14, 15. Yeah. And we went to Tasmania for school camp, and while we were there, we went to Port Arthur, which is one of the most haunted places in the world, and probably the most haunted place in Australia. And we were there during the day, and we wandered around, and we looked at all the sites and took hundreds of photos and pretended to be stuck in the jail. It's an old convict settlement in it was Van Diemen's Land back then. Look it up. It's very rich culture. What little culture Australia actually does have that, when white people got here. Anyway, um, and we went, and then we went home. Or we went back to the motel we were staying at. We had dinner, and then we came back for the night tour. And so we split into groups of two. I think it was. I think there was about 18 people to a group, something like that. Um, and our um, guide, she said, well, she sort of started. I can't remember her name, but she started. She said, if you get a fright, please don't run, because it's really hard to chase after 18 people all running in different directions, and you will get lost, and you'll be more scared if you're lost in the dark. And then she sort of paused, and she turned to walk away, and then she turned back and she said, but if I run, try and keep up. Which is actually pretty funny. She was a real believer in supernatural, which was made her the best tour guide. The first, there was two experiences that I'll go through because they both happened in the same tour. First one, we got to an abandoned church. Well, everything's abandoned there. Like it's a tourist attraction. But the church was never finished. Because three people died. Two of which were murdered. On this site. And I don't know, I've always, whenever I say this to my family or, to normal people, they all go, ugh, you're fucking stupid. But I've always felt like a real connection to the spiritual world. You know, I've, I feel silly saying this because I've spent so long being ridiculed for it, but I felt, I feel a deeper connection to it. I sense things, especially if I'm in an area that I know has history, or I just go into like houses, and sometimes you stand in a house and maybe someone's died there, maybe someone lived there before they died, but I just get this really odd feeling. Even if I don't know that someone's lived there and died there or whatever. Anyway, so in this church, and I'd already started feeling really shaky, like I could feel there's a lot of ghosts in in Port Arthur. It's one of the most haunted places in Australia. I've already said that. But I was always started to get a little bit shaky, and I got because there's lots of graveyards around, and I got to this church, and I was with my friend Alex, and we stood there for not even 5 minutes, and I was almost on my knees. There was this horrible, horrible, oppressive feeling, and it was so evil. Not evil in like your cartoon villain evil, but it was a human evil. In that whole murder, psycho murder rapist. And I was literally on my knees, and I couldn't breathe properly, and I was so scared, and like I was in tears, and no one else felt it. Everyone else was just like, "What's wrong with her?" And I was just like, flipping out. The tour guide ended up ushering me out a little bit earlier, because she was like, "Okay, you're freaking out. You're obviously a bit more connected to this than everyone else." Okay. And the other supernatural experience. Okay, we continued on, and we got to the doctor's house, and back when Port Arthur was a thriving community, it was illegal to perform autopsies on dead bodies. But the doctor's house, underneath it was an illegal autopsy room, and it's literally like sort of a slope behind the house, and a massive fucking long corridor behind like a massive steel door. Well, I think it was iron or something like that, whatever.
big, thick door, massive long corridor, another massive thick door, and a little tiny, stone autopsy room on with a stone table. So, just shivery thinking about it. But I was still a bit freaking out. I was still freaking out a little bit because of my experience in the church. I felt this really odd pressure against my leg. But, usually when you feel something against your leg, you freak out. But I just felt that overwhelming sense of calm all of a sudden. I was just like, wow, I can do anything, man. I feel so brave right now. And, I felt really, really strong. And the tour guide, she had a lantern, like not a torch, a lantern. She had a torch on her belt in case we got lost, but she had a lantern with her. And she's turned around, she's offered the lantern out and said, I don't like going down that big corridor to open that door. Who wants to do it? And, everyone's like, oh my god, I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. And I was just like, I'll do it. I've never felt so brave in my entire life. And I took it, and usually I'm so freaking scared of being alone in the dark. Like, I'm okay if I've got if I've got someone with me, I'm fine. But if I'm alone in the dark, I freak out. I just get like a really nervous feeling. And I walked all the way down to the end. I opened the corridor and I held the lantern up, and everyone followed me down. And she said, that was really, really brave. You were freaking out a moment ago. How did you do that? And I was like, and I just turned around. I said, I felt this really strange feeling against my leg, and then I felt really, really calm, like I had a companion with me. And she goes, how big was the feeling? I said, it sort of was against my it was against my calf. It was about the size of a dog. And you sort of, when you sense energy, you sense it, and you can sense what it is almost. Like you get an impression of what it might be, and it felt like a dog. And so I told her, it was sort of like a dog. A companion, a guardian with me. He was looking after me, making sure that nothing would hurt me. And she was like, that's really strange, because the doctor actually used to own a dog. And so yeah, that was my supernatural experience, my connection with the ghost world. Okay, I'm done. End the audio post by saying any 3 words you want. I'm going to go with bippity boppity boo is 1 word, man. It's 1 word. It's all hyphenated. Hijinks, because it's got 3 dotted letters in a row. It used to be hyphenated in the bad old days. And I'm torn between 2 words, so I'm going to go with both of them. Shenanigans, because I love the word shenanigans, because it pisses people off when you say shenanigans. Shenanigans. Say it again now. Say it with me, people. Shenanigans. It's so annoying. And the other word I was going to go for is Homestuck, because I'm so addicted to Homestuck. Thank you, dear. Okay? I don't know. I think I originally got her into Homestuck. I was like, hey, read this comic. And then I forgot about it because I was like, la 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 la, I have stuff to do. And I didn't have time for comics. And I forgot all about it. And then she got really, really into it. Was like, read Homestuck. And I started reading it again. And I was like, oh my god, how could I leave this? This is the best fucking comic ever. Webcomics. And they're usually really shit. And it was such a great webcomic. It still is a great webcomic. Go and read it. Please, people, go read Homestuck. And whatever if you find the first act kind of boring, or you find, or you're not getting into it, just please promise me you'll read the full first act, okay? You're legit allowed to say you don't like the webcomic after you've finished the first act. That's it, okay? You're not allowed to say, nah, it's really, really boring, it's kind of stupid, it's not going anywhere. It goes places after the first act. Like, at the end of the first act, it starts getting really, really into it. Please go and, read it. It's really, really good. I need more people to fan with it. I need more fans. Needs more fans. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I hope you enjoyed my stupid audio recording thing and my dumb accent, and I don't sound Australian at all. Okay, bye.